Pete Buttigieg has told us repeatedly that the Transportation Department's main goal is to bring racial equity to transportation in the United States. And by definition, that means safety is a secondary concern. And that's obvious. There have been in recent days multiple serious, very potentially dangerous incidents at JFK Airport in New York. Fox's Trace Gallagher has been tracking these. He joins us tonight. Hey, Trace.
Hey, Tucker. And regardless of who's to blame, having two unusual incidents almost back-to-back at a major airport is an alarm bell ringer. Today, a JetBlue plane filled with passengers was pushing back from the gate when it struck the tail section of another empty JetBlue plane parked at a gate. The incident was not life-threatening, but it comes just a few days after what could have been a disastrous collision. Air traffic control tapes show that a Delta 737 heading to the Dominican was taking off on runway 4 left. An American Airlines 777 heading to London was given clearance to cross runway 31 left. Instead, the American plane crossed runway 4 left. And the Delta pilot, now going 105 miles per hour, was told frantically by air traffic control to abort the takeoff. The Delta pilot slammed on the brakes, clearly forcing every passenger on board to lunge forward. The Delta plane stopped 1,000 feet short of the American plane, but imagine, at 105 miles per hour, 1,000 feet is a few seconds. And a pilot I spoke with says there is no way the Delta flight would have been able to get airborne in time to avoid a collision. So big time save here by the air traffic controller. In the past 2 years, runway incursions across the U.S. have risen significantly, though it's unclear exactly why. And remember, the deadliest aviation incident ever was a runway collision in Tenerife, Spain back in 1977. Two 747s collided, killed 583 people. Tucker.
Unbelievable. Trace Gallagher, thank you so much.
You bet.
Trace is available for your viewing edification every weeknight, midnight Eastern, on Fox News at night. So you cannot let civilization slip away. Civilization is marked by order and safety and peace and cleanliness. When it degrades, things become dirty and chaotic and crazy. And the Biden administration is accelerating that. But you see it everywhere. So the National Hockey League probably got the most conservative fan base in all big-time professional sports. But lately, under the NHL commissioner, the very highly paid NHL commissioner, the left wing, Gary Bettman, the league has been pushing left-wing politics on its fans and players. The NHL even tried to host a career conference in Florida that's only open to minorities. In other words, it's somehow bad when white men play hockey. Governor DeSantis stopped that because it's obviously racist and crazy. Last night, the NHL hosted something called Pride Night at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. Players were commanded to wear rainbow jerseys to signal their allegiance to the gender cult. But one player refused to do that, Ivan Puravov. He's the Philadelphia Flyers defenseman. So reporters were deeply offended. You must wear the jersey! Why aren't you wearing the jersey? Everyone's wearing the jersey! Here's what he said.
I respect everybody, and I respect everybody's choices. My choice is to stay true to myself and my religion. That's all I'm going to say.
Why do you clarify your religion?
Russian Orthodox.
Hero. Jason Whitlock, our old friend, is the host of Fearless. He joins us tonight. Jason, thanks so much for coming on. I respect everybody. I respect everybody's choices, and this is my choice because this is my religion. You would think that the rest of the country, including its press corps, would stand back in awe of the bravery of that man and the clarity of that sentiment, which is the true American sentiment. But people hate him for it. What's going on here?
Well, you would also think that more American-born and bred athletes of Christian faith would take a similar stand as this Russian guy, but were cowards. And listen, it's hard to blame the NHL. This is all of corporate America imposing its will on sports leagues. All of corporate America has bought into diversity, inclusion, and equity, or diversity, equity, inclusion, whatever you want to call it. And so they have corporate America has all these policies in place to impose diversity, equity, and inclusion. And now they're imposing that on the sports world. And so it's not just the National Hockey League, it's the NFL, it's Major League Baseball, it's the NBA. If someone tells you, hey, we're having a Pride Night and we don't care what your religious values are, put on this shirt, support this, they're all going to do it in lockstep because they're all slaves to corporate America. And so the left has realized that the one institution, the one strong force in popular culture that instilled and reinforced conservative values has been the sports world, and they're using corporate America to take over the sports world and make it bend to the will of the left and the secular and the godless. And the NHL is just another example of this. They announced the hiring of black woman Kim Davis to be basically in charge of their diversity, equity, and inclusion program, and they're going to fix diversity in the National Hockey League. And fixing diversity in the National Hockey League means giving every team a diversity, inclusion, and equity department and slapping T-shirts on the players and making them support the LGBT agenda and the Black Lives Matter agenda and any agenda that stands against traditional American values.
Saddest observation of the week, that it took a foreigner to do this. You know, there's still a lot of Americans who play hockey, and it's inconceivable that any of them would say a single word about this. I mean, where's their self-respect?
Tucker, it's so crystal clear. Black Lives Matter is part of the LGBT movement. It's part of a Marxist movement. And so we've had athletes in football, basketball, baseball, everywhere. They're all disavowing their religious convictions and taking on the convictions of corporate America and global corporations. They're slaves to the dollar. They worship the dollar. They worship popularity and being influencers. We don't have religious convictions. We don't have men bold enough to stand on their religious convictions, other than, I guess, a Russian guy. It's embarrassing for us as Americans.
Yeah. It tells you a lot about our foreign policy, too, I would say. Jason Willock, it is so great to see you, as always. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we've been told that steak is an offense against the climate, against the earth, because cows are a major contributor to global warming because of their flatulence. Cow emissions are destroying the planet. Well, in France, supposedly, farmers have a solution to this problem. We wanted to know if it was real, so we found an actual farmer who's going to test out that plan. Next.